Hey boys, game 3 in the very first play-in match for CALLOUS Invitational 3. We have Lusch and Zokuru, and I'm just going to type into the chat. You guys can't see it, it's a little bit lower than I am recording, but letting them know that they are good to go. And to the shock of no one, Zokuru again with a stall team, with a Skarmbliss, and Lusch has led Zapdos all 3 games. So both of these players have clear playstyle preferences, and that's fine. I think when you are playing to win and playing serious, you should use whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you think leads to winning, and if that means the same kind of team over and over again, so be it. T-Tar comes in on Gar. That could actually be really good for either of them, depending on the sets. I mean, if he can get him with like a Pursuit here right out the gate, that's a huge advantage. But I mean, if Gengar catches something here with Hypnosis, Focus Punch, Boom, whatever it is, that's really good too. It does have Pursuit and it does get out of the way, but it's a bulky Gar to live that Pursuit with 17%. Zokuru's got to be careful though. Gar is no longer the spin blocker that it otherwise could be. I'm not sure if that's going to be the issue, though. I think Lusch is clearing it out of the way for the sake of having it not wall him defensively as opposed to having it not be a spin blocker. But Zokuru's team looks very, very standard here. Just looks like a stereotypical run-of-the-mill Skarmbliss. Last 2 pokes probably just T-Tar Doug or something along those lines. Pretty standard stuff. Lusch, it is TBD, but if he's going out of his way to have a Pursuit Gar, then obviously he has things like Flygon or EQ Lax or just things that don't want to deal with Gar defensively, things that are trying to offensively punch through it and do not like Gengar's existence. He could, in theory, have a Fortress. Lusch could. That does not make a lot of sense to me given what's already been shown, but it could theoretically be there. The traditional pairing back in my day, I'm pretty crusty these days, but back in the day it was a Pursuit-Tar trying to remove Gengar for Fortress's sake so it can actually spin, because Fortress is basically walled indefinitely by Gengar unless it has like gimmicky HP Ghost, which isn't even good and loses to Will-O-Wisp. Or it could also have Zap Cannon, which is a move you'll never see me run, but I've seen other people try it. I mean, Gengar obviously hates being paralyzed, but 50-50 flip, man. I just can't bring myself to do it. Here comes Lax on Bliss action now. Almost always this is a matchup that Lax wins, the exception being if Bliss were to have counter. Here's Curse. There very well could be a Magneton waiting in the wings. I mean, if he's physical offense, that would make a lot of sense, but he does not take the bait here and just blindly go into Mag just in case it's a Doug, nor does he boom into something dumb. He just goes with a nice, safe return just in case. Skarm takes it pretty well at 36%, but this next turn is going to be interesting. They both must be aware of what could theoretically be there. Lusch tries to get T-Tar into the Gengar. He's hoping Gengar comes in on return and he traps him, but that did not play out that way, and he's going to pull the T-Tar back. Here's Swampert. Comes in on EQ, takes way more than it should. That's either a Choice Band Tar or a non-defensive pert. That could be the new wave offensive pert that everybody's using these days. Or I guess it could have been like an end pert, but that's no longer a possibility. We saw the lefties. Starmie the last poke for Zokuru. Fair enough. Looks like Lusch did not opt to bring spikes, which he hasn't all series. He does still have 2 unrevealed pokes. So again, hypothetically there could be a Fortress or something, but it just doesn't make the most sense in my mind with what he's already shown. Gets Lax in. Here's T-Tar. There's Curse. To me, I would think that it's actually an EQ Lax, like I said, because he's making a point to use Pursuit Tar. I would think that Gengar is actually safe in this matchup, but I could be wrong. And Zokuru is going to push the issue. He goes for the Rock Slide there, only 26%, but he gets the flinch, and he's now 1 crit or flinch away from BSing this Snorlax out. Does Lusch want to take the chance now? The decision's going to fall on him. I think Gengar is safe for Zokuru. I think it's an EQ Lax, but that is just my speculation based on the T-Tar. I have no way to know that one way or another. Lusch is really thinking about it now. There's some BS that could happen on this turn. This is an important turn for sure. whether it ends up being a crit or a flinch, or he just doesn't have the balls to go for it and he switches, or of course Rock Slide can miss, as we saw in Game 1. And it ends up just being a trade, which is probably the most neutrally fair outcome for both players. One of those guys either of them could have gotten really, really hosed on that turn. Like if Rock Slide misses and then Lusch were to come back with EQ and just clock him, that would have been devastating. But likewise, a Rock Slide crit or a flinch and just kill the Lax for nothing would have been devastating. It does end up just being a trade. So here's a 5-5 situation now. Full information practically for Lusch, whereas Zokuru still has to guess what two pokes are from his opponent. There's Protect and Baton Pass, so offensive Zapdos has been the lead 3 times out of 3 for Lusch. And it's going to be a Thunder Wave missing on the Ground Immune Swampert. We know it has Focus Punch here. Goes to Starmie, and goes for the EQ here, 37%. Starmie probably recovers here. Could be a recover Zapdos turn. It could also be a more offensive approach, but he does just take the safe play and go for recover. Still 5-5 here. There's Bliss and there's Baton Pass, so this looks very familiar. I feel like this has been very representative of what both players have wanted to do throughout the series. It has largely been, through all 3 games, of both players sticking to their guns, playing the way they want to play. Zokuru with a more defensive Skarmbliss kind of team, and Lusch with a Zapdos offense kind of team, both of them just doing what they do. A battle of different preferences, different styles here. That is A-OK. We'll see who comes out on top. Metagross on Bliss is going to prompt the Skarm. Meteor Mash, decent chunk there, 28%, but doesn't get the attack raise that he was presumably looking for. Attack raise might have incentivized him to stay in. Without it, I don't know that you do. Meteor Mash again, 19%, still no attack raise. Not gaining lefties here, but that's not a Choice Bander either. It would have done more. I don't know if it's Lum or some kind of funky berry. He could have HP Grass here. I would expect Zokuru to probably play around it to a reasonable extent. Even if he did have it, it wouldn't kill. But he does take the turn to protect for it just in case. It does not come. He very well may protect again, and he does. Hidden Power there, not necessarily Grass. Could be a bluff just playing into the obvious protect turn, but probably Grass there. I don't know. I don't see how Ice overly benefits Lush's team based on what we've seen so far. But he does BP out, thinking that Zokuru would switch, but he's going to find out now that Zokuru doesn't, because if Zokuru had switched, it would have happened already. So that might puzzle Lusch, like, wait a minute, why isn't he afraid of HP Grass? Why isn't he out of here? And it's going to be last poke Starmie, so it's actually going to be the first time that Lusch has bothered to bring a Rapid Spinner here. He doesn't take Earthquake very well, though. When this matchup was flipped, when it was Lusch with the Swampert against the Zokuru Starmie, the Earthquake only did about a third, but that one did 56%, so I think that means it's an offensive star, and that just seems like a terrible poke in this matchup. It's not going to get through Bliss at all. Yeah, he's just going to go ham here. It's going to be a Hydro Pump, so he's going to do more than nothing on the way out, but that Starmie did jack, and he's just going to go straight down to an Earthquake. Zokuru takes the lead. He has looked like the better player so far in this series. He was pretty dominant in Game 2. He looks good in Game 3. And had he not made the mistake that he made, it was looking like he'd be pretty good in Game 1 as well. But he got BS'd out by 2 Rock Slide misses, and here we are in Game 3. Lusch is going to disconnect because, of course, has been having some internet issues throughout the series, but it's never been too egregious. He's never been gone for more than roughly a minute, and he will be back. But yeah, we could just take this moment while he is doing his thing to analyze the game here. And it kind of just feels like deja vu. I have pretty much the same thoughts that I had in the previous game, just that I don't know how Lush's team, and he's back obviously, as you can see, I don't know how Lush's team breaks through the defenses of Zokuru. I mean, he can kill the Gengar, it's already super low, or like the Starmie, he can kill those things, but just like the Blissey and the more sturdy pokes, I don't know how he gets through. Even Skarmory is obnoxious now because he doesn't have Mag and Starmie can't hurt it. I mean, he could chip away at it. The Meteor Mashes do more than nothing, but between lefties and Protect, if it does in fact have Protect, it can regain a lot of HP, and I think it can just be really annoying, or like Meteor Mash misses or what have you. It might be tough to break through. EQ and Seismic Toss respectively. Lusch is going to be down to 3 pokes. Metagross here is going to have to make something happen. Maybe he crits the Skarm on the way in or something like that. Let's check on the Swampert. That's at 55%. There's a Mash, 32%. There's an Attack Raise, which is very, very much what Lusch needs here. Attack Raises are going to be necessary here. There's the Surf and the Agility. Hold the presses here. This has a chance to get something done. Earthquake here could do a lot of damage. This is a very dangerous Pokemon now. He doesn't kill him with the Earthquake, though. That might have been a mistake. I think he needed to calc that. Oh, no, he's got a Lychee Berry. Never mind. That's why he doesn't have lefties. I was going to say he needs to mash and go for another Attack Raise, but he has another Attack Raise waiting. This is a very dangerous Pokemon now. Swampert needs to think twice. What is Skarmory at? 48%? Hold the presses, boys. This is not over. Agiligros here at +2/+2. That is very dangerous. Can Zokuru claw out of this? He does have the option to go to Gengar and fish for a Meteor Mash miss. It is Agility, Meteor Mash, Earthquake. Last move we don't know, but it's presumably Boom. And if that's the case, that means that against Gengar, Lusch would be forced to go for the Meteor Mash and hope that the 85-15 cooperates with him. Zokuru probably running some calcs right now, figuring out if he's desperate enough to have to do that. Another play that he could make is he can go to Swampert, gain lefties, Protect, gain more lefties, get the fuck out of the way, sacrifice something, probably Gengar, and then do that same sequence again, Protect and lefties, to get the Swampert safe. That's probably the play. I think you go Swampert, Protect, switch to Gengar, Swampert, Protect. Now you're safe, and now you just EQ the Metagross down. He still would lose to a crit in that scenario, but, I mean, at some point you just have to go, what can you do? I don't know that he can afford to play around that right now. So my play, I believe, if I'm Zokuru here, is what I just said. Swampert lefties, Protect lefties, Gengar, Swampert lefties, Protect lefties. I think that's what you have to do. I mean, he's not just going to stay in here and take the Earthquake, right? I haven't actually calced it myself, and I'm not going to pull it up, but I would feel like the Earthquake here would do a lot at +2. I don't know if it kills or not. Depends on how bulky the Pert is. I'm surprised that he takes that. He has Protect, right? Wow. Yeah, he does have Protect. I can't believe he didn't go for it there. I don't know what he was possibly playing around. I mean, what could Metagross have done there to make him not Protect? That just seems like a clear misplay in my mind for Zokuru. Like, even if you're 100% sure that you're going to live, you still Protect there. You still gain the lefties. So that seems like a clear misplay, in my opinion, from Zokuru. Will the 6% end up mattering? Looking like probably not, but just on principle, still the right play. Nonetheless, if this T-Tar is strictly special, if it doesn't have a surprise Rock Slide or Brick Break or something, then I think this game is over because I don't know how you beat Blissey. Gengar, remember, is at like 17% or whatever. It's basically dead. And Skarmory is not a threat here to T-Tar either. Special T-Tar often carries Fire Blast, which, yeah, he's at 48%. That'll shred him, no problem. So it's really just a matter of whether or not the T-Tar can beat the Bliss. I think what Zokuru is debating right now is, can he get any value whatsoever out of either of his other pokes, or does he have to go to Bliss here? So he's going to go to Gengar. I don't know the set. We haven't seen anything, but I mean, he could have Will-O-Wisp, Hypnosis, HP Grass, Giga Drain, lots of stuff. And it was, in fact, Will-O-Wisp, but it doesn't connect. So there's Pursuit. So again, Zokuru has to ask himself, can I get value out of anything else, such as the Skarmory here? Like, is there any value in going for Toxic or something like that? He is just going to go for Bliss, so it's the exact situation I described. It's can the T-Tar actually damage this thing in any meaningful way? And the answer is no. He is going for a freeze. It is Ice Beam. I believe that makes this game pretty much over. It's a clear soft-boiled turn now for Blissey, and it's going to be a very uphill battle for Lusch to kill this Bliss from where it is now. We have Pursuit, Ice Beam. He's going for freezes. Maybe Crunch, Fire Blast is the set, or maybe his HP Grass in there somewhere, but he is in desperation mode playing for the freeze, and even if he finds one, Blissey will just natural cure out, so a lot of things are going to have to go exactly right for Lusch here. Window very quickly closing. Doesn't even get the Ice Beam off there through the power. He's going to have one more opportunity here to find the freeze, and even then, he is not out of the woods. There's the S-Toss. There's the full para. He'll lefties up to where he has one more chance, but I don't know where that leaves him. One more chance. Ice Beam. Does not get the freeze, but I think it would have been too little too late. And I believe that this is going to go Zokuru's way. He makes the right play here in soft-boiling as opposed to being aggressive. Doesn't want to get like crit parried or some BS out by the Zapdos. But I believe that Zokuru has this in the bag. He has looked like the better player throughout the series, and I believe that that is going to be the result that we get. T-Tar going to fall. Zapdos would need everything in the world to go right here. Maybe he substitutes and he blocks a T-Wave, which he shouldn't even T-Wave. He should just be S-tossing him. He's going to need like crit power BS out the yin-yang to have any shot in hell here. I don't know. Well, I guess we know the full set, so we know that he doesn't have subs. So I guess Thunder Wave's fine. If there was any chance at all that he could have had substitute, that would have been bad, but we know that he doesn't. There's the Ice Beam, and yeah, there's the full power. That has got to be the game. There's just no way out of this at this point, even with a crit para. There is just no way out. He's going to go for the Thunderbolt. Too little, too late. Sand is going to take Zapdos down, and Zokuru is going to be the winner of the first play-in match for CALLOUS Invitational. There you have it, boys. The first series I have narrated in like a year. My throat is tingling, and that means that I am crusty as F and have not narrated in way too long. But hopefully, I get back in the rhythm of this, and there is so much more to come with this tournament. There are 16 players in the play-ins alone, and then we've got the main event. It is going to be hype, boys, so absolutely stay tuned. There's going to be more content as it happens. Rate, comment, and most importantly, please subscribe.